So far, this is day 1 with no coffee. I've already been quite irritable, so right now I'm actually making tea. Today I'm still not going to have coffee, but tomorrow I'm probably going to begin my stimulant for ADHD, so I'm still going to make today a no caffeine day. I was thinking about making caffeinated tea because I don't think I'm going to get my medication until like the afternoon, so at least it's going to be a lesser amount than normal. We'll see what happens. Well, it's a sign. I went to try and drink my tea and I ended up dropping it all over. I took 3 sips from it. So it's the end of day 1 with no coffee or any caffeine aside from the 3 sips of tea that I spilled all over my shirt. I started developing a headache and immediately took ibuprofen. I napped from 4:30 to 6:30, so I took a 2-hour nap, which is definitely not normal. Usually at that time I'm really exhausted, but can't, it's that wired but tired, but I actually napped this time around. Otherwise, I kind of felt really lazy. So we'll see what happens. Tomorrow's going to be day 2 with no caffeine. I don't know if I'll end up getting my medicine. I haven't heard anything from the doctor yet today. So, yeah. Taking this in strides. Today is the morning of day 2 within quitting caffeine. I did the same thing as yesterday, minus spilling that tea all over myself. So I made that cup, did the dishes, drank 3 sips, and dumped the rest out and washed the cup. And just for consistency's sake and also trying to avoid a lot of the nastiness with caffeine withdrawal, I need to be alert and ready for my kids since dad works overnights. So I don't want to be miserable and then try to help them throughout the day. I slept relatively well. I woke up a couple times and sleep kind of felt restless, but I woke up rather alert and ready to go. And I kind of hope that momentum keeps with me throughout the day. Usually I'm pretty slow in the morning and dragging relatively bad. I'm not missing making coffee as much as I thought I was. And even yesterday I actually made coffee for my fiance and I sniffed it, like I smelled the coffee, but I didn't miss it as significantly as I thought I would. So I don't know what to make of that, but there that is. Yesterday I felt rather ravenous. Today I am not as hungry. I was quite lethargic yesterday, but I have more energy today. So I'm kind of surprised by the polar opposites within the day. I really expected it to be just like an all-day migraine fiesta and just eating everything in sight. So I'm kind of hoping today isn't going that route yet, but it's still early. I don't even know what time it is. It's not even 9 o'clock, so that's surprising. So I'm hoping to get some desk time in, journal, plan for the day and whatnot. Today's Saturday. I'm not sure if I'll actually start medication. Probably not. Probably not until at least Monday or Tuesday is my guess. Because I had to be, super smart and leave the paperwork I need here and go to the appointment and be like, oh yeah, that's not with me right now. So I kind of raised my arms and was like, that's part of my issue. Anyway, so yeah. But despite knowing that, I'm still going to continue with this. So we'll see where this leads. I'm going to kind of go over how my energy level has been for the tail end of day 2, and I gotta tell you, it's just plummeted. So I have been so far avoiding the migraines, and I'm hoping my few sips of caffeinated tea are aiding me in that quest. Until I get started on my medication, I may completely forego it tomorrow just to see what happens. My energy level tanked somewhere along the way. And I'm ready for bed. It's about 8:30. My kids are in bed. Oh my god, my favorite time of day. They have been not boring, that is for sure. I pray to all the gods for a boring week of just where the kids decide to just chill. Because there's no chill. But this is chill. This is the definition of chill, right? You're just a chill puppy. I stopped petting you. How dare I? I stopped petting her and she's just like, what the heck, ma'am? Ma'am. Is this video going to be all about Nova? Anyway, my energy level really tanked. Maybe now that the kids are in bed, I can kind of just unwind and do something fun maybe, because I feel like my whole day was just kind of spent following around my toddler. Thank you, ma'am. He's been having a bowel movement pretty much every hour on the hour. And yeah. Aside from that, I really don't think there's anything major to really note. I have been avoiding the headaches, thankfully. And I kind of hope to continue to do that. This is really what this video is about right now. So I kind of hope I have similar results with day 3. I don't know. I feel pretty spacey. Still on the fence. We'll see what happens tomorrow, because it's still part of my habit to have coffee. But again, I'm surprised by how non-invasive my routine to make coffee is. Like, honestly, I thought I was gonna be way more heartbroken about not making coffee. Yes, ma'am. I know. Let's welcome in day 3. This English tea, time tea, has 30 to 60 milligrams compared to the tea I was taking sips of, which had 70 milligrams of caffeine. And on to my sleep. I slept 9 hours and 52 minutes. I feel great. Hello and welcome to day 6 within quitting caffeine. Now, I just was doing like a pre-recording and got a phone call. And I will begin Vyvanse today, tomorrow. Is it too late in the morning to start it now? I have no clue. But otherwise, yeah, it's day 6 and I feel super freaking calm without caffeine. For the most part, I have more of an increased appetite where I just kind of, I want more solid foods. I know that sounds weird, but like, I kind of was like on a liquid diet, so to speak, where I would just drink coffee in the morning. I'd have most of my calories coming from heavy whipping cream and not eat anything until like the afternoon, or just kind of snack on things that weren't healthy. And that was like, I think, kind of a hindrance, and I could see that with the coffee. So as much as I love coffee and just the smell of it and the ritual of making it, like I've made it for my fiance more often than not, and I just like appreciate the smell now. And I know that's kind of strange, but it's like, yes, you know, but it's like, at least I get to make it for him, and I'm okay with that. And I don't know. So yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say now. BRB. But it was like, I don't know, something about just having all the coffee, and it's like, I've literally been ravenous lately. And I know it's like, it was right before my period, so that doesn't really help. So I decided to quit this before my period. And progesterone is really well known for slowing down digestive system. Like, it just produces less motility. Why? I don't know. But it's terrible, because I decided to also quit caffeine at the same time. And what does caffeine do? It helps thin that department, and that has not been pleasant. And I've been like super freaking bloated. Like uncomfortably bloated. And I've just been chugging lots of water and hoping for the best. And now that I've actually began my cycle, hopefully that'll get better. So yeah, so there's that aspect of this, which I did not plan for whatsoever. Lots of snacking, just feeling really drained. And just to get motivated to even do a task is really difficult and kind of frustrating. And so it's like, it kind of made me wonder, like, before I quit coffee, like, is this just caffeine? Is this just the effect of caffeine? Like, is this why I'm having such a struggle? But no, it's not. Because now that I'm 6 days into this, and it's like, I know I need to do these 3 things, but I can't decide which 3 things to do first. And even if I start thing 1, thing 2 will interrupt my mind, and I'll decide to try and start that too. And then there's also thing 3 that I need to do, but I really don't want to do it. So I'm going to continue to procrastinate that as long as possible. So then thing 1, thing 2 take forever because I cannot decide how to go about either one of them. And then I'm just kind of left in this vicious cycle of like slowly tackling each task, but just not doing it productively. And that's just a small example. And like even yard work was a good example of this. We were talking about what we could do. I wanted to replant my rosemary plant, but then we also need to dig up these weird weeds that are really pokey and like will kill you if you grab a hold of them too hard. And then we also need to dig up lilies and transplant cucumbers. And it's like, yeah, it's a fun process. So then it's just like, even me telling myself and my fiance telling me to let's just focus on one thing at a time. That'll work fine. But will it though? Like, that's not how I operate. Is that really what people do? They just do one thing at a time and that's it? Really? That's what we do. We do one thing, not all 3. Got it. How we do that. And that's just kind of how the day goes. And I'll just rinse and repeat this cycle 3 to 4 times until I just give up and decide just to be a couch potato and just don't move. That's the safest thing for you right now, is just don't move. No more chaos can be caused when you just don't move. I started a project yesterday and never finished it. So now it looks like a clothing Tasmanian devil ripped through the room and destroyed everything and then just walked out like a boss. So when my fiance wakes up, I need to finish that. But anyway, just got a message that my medication's ready to get picked up, so I guess I will bop on over there and go and do that and see what happens. Hello and welcome to day 7 in me quitting caffeine. Today's gonna be technically day 2 of me taking Vyvanse, but it's gonna be the full day of me taking Vyvanse, so I'm not really gonna be able to identify any benefits or hindrances from quitting caffeine from this point forward, since I just replaced one stimulant with another one. But I was able to get great insights from these past 7 days within quitting caffeine. 1, I can do it. That was probably the biggest one because I've been wanting to quit caffeine for the past at least 4 years. At my worst, I was probably drinking like 4 to 5 really large cups of coffee a day. And that was like that, what's it called? Death Wish coffee. So that was like extremely caffeinated. I was kind of a mess then. I was drinking Copper Moon, Sumatra dark roast, and dark roast coffee has the least amount of caffeine in it, compared to light roast, which is going to have more caffeine. And the reason for that is that dark roast coffees are roasted longer, so more caffeine content is extracted out of it in a way. And then, light roast coffee is going to be roasted the least, so it's going to have most of its caffeine content. So the first 3 days I'd like to call the withdrawal period. Do you mind? And what helped alleviate the symptoms of withdrawal, I really think helped, was drinking low caffeinated teas like green tea or black teas. Because then it's like you're kind of fending off the withdrawal symptoms, and with little ones, you kind of really need to be able to function. And the withdrawal symptoms are just not pleasant and probably would make you want to quit. I can't say for sure because I didn't experience it, but I really didn't want to in the first place. And then the last 3 days were just me kind of suffering through my symptoms of ADHD, which after that 3rd day really flared, like the distractibility, the low tolerance for irritability, even just now, just like spacing out, just losing trains of thought. I could plan but can't execute that plan.
I did try to find things to get me busy when I did have a burst of energy, but even when I was doing the task, it was really hard to just sit and focus on the task from beginning to end. It took me 2 days to finish clearing out my section in my closet, and it took a really long time to like really just make up my mind about what I wanted to do, even when I had the energy to do it. So that's kind of a frustrating thing to experience. But from, like I said, from this point on, I mean, at this point it's gonna be, a page has been turned, and now I get to see what life is gonna be like with getting properly medicated for adult ADHD. Even though I was diagnosed when I was like 9 and 10, and my dad said the doctors wanted to put me on Ritalin, but he didn't want that for me. So, oh, careful. So it's been known that I've had ADHD for a while, but like nothing was really done to help me with it. So, yeah, I probably could have saved myself 14 years of addiction.
Mom?
Yeah, I see your yo-yo, yeah. So, I mean, thank you for joining me for this video, and I hope to see you in the next one within my weight loss journey. And I hope that this content helps somebody see what it's like, and if they choose to quit caffeine, what will help to avoid the terrible withdrawal symptoms. Like I said, I'm not really a huge tea drinker. I tried to be honest. I like some of them. Honestly, I like some of them, not all teas. So I wouldn't call myself a tea fanatic, but we'll see what happens. So thank you for joining me. Bye.
Bye.